Okay, we will have a moment of silent meditation, then pledge to the flag. Thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for attending. Very large crowd. I think this is exciting. We will now have the Honorable County Administrator.
Call the meeting to order, please.
Yes, okay. At first, though, I'll call the meeting to order. It is 10:02, and all three county commissioners are here. Now we will have the Honorable. I was so excited to say that I didn't want to forget it.
Okay, we have 9 exonerations for $5,194.79. Vouchers for General County Fund, $277,475.06. 911, $2,871.66. Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,023.86. Camp Muffley, $2,835.32. Mason-Dixon Park, $7,748.72. Assessor's valuation, $2,719.67. Morgantown Industrial TIF, $36,688.16. Purchasing card vouchers, General County Fund, $23,121.67. 911, $10,191.42. Home confinement, $9,352.33. Chestnut Ridge Park, $407.64. Camp Muffley, $459.61. Mason-Dixon Park, $1,304.86, for a voucher total of $377,199.98. Position vacancies for boards and authorities: the Western Board of Zoning Appeals, Monongalia County Planning Commission, Development Authority, Building Commission, Camp Muffley Advisory Board, and then we're going to fill the last Mason-Dixon today, so we can take that off. Fiduciary orders for March 13th, 2019. And then you have separate fiduciary items you need to
Move
take
for
care of.
approval. Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, the first item, fiduciary item, is the petition for removal of an executor for the estate of Joseph Perfetti.
I move that we refer to fiduciary commissioner.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
Second item is a list of estates that were turned back over to the county clerk's office by Cynthia Van Stafford. It was a fiduciary commissioner that resigned. So there's a list of, I'm not sure how many's here, but we have a list of estates for that you just need to acknowledge.
Okay, so we're going to accept the list, and those are going to be reassigned.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so motion to accept.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, the last item is another list provided by Ms. Van Stafford of estates to the county clerk's office. And in conversation with the county clerk this morning, she said that these estates will be transferred to the circuit clerk's office as they are protected persons' files.
Okay, so move that we authorize the county clerk to take whatever actions necessary with those files.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we have any other?
That's it.
Okay, seeing none, we'll move to introduction of new employees and personnel change. Sheriff Perry Palmer and Mr. Thomas Copenhaver. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Good. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Thomas Copenhaver. He is already works for us, process transports. He's been there about 8 or 9 months. He will be starting the 16th as a deputy sheriff at a starting salary of $3,404 per month. He's the third. I have one more to hire. However, we didn't, with the backlog down at the academy, none of the three got into the academy this time, so it'll probably be July or better before they get in, but we'd like to welcome them, Tom.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Welcome.
Okay. Do I
Glad to
get a
have
question? So, since he can't get in the academy, what is he allowed to do? Yeah.
He is still working downstairs at our process transport.
And then when
be
it
getting
opened-
paid as, yes, and so he can still make trips. and-
Gotcha. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else for new employees? Seeing none, we will have comments from the public. If you come up in front of the microphone, state your name, and we'd love to hear why you're here. Thank you. Who would like to come first? Thank you.
Ron Snyder, I'm the municipal administrator for the town of Granville. I'd like to present to the commission a petition to annex by minor boundary adjustment. Basically the same type of annexation plan in the past,
Okay,
just a little bit different.
thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, feel free to call my office. I'm there.
Okay. We'll respond after the public comment, okay? So in case we have some others like that. Is there anyone else who would like to? Yes, come on down. How are you doing today?
Thank you. My name is Dwayne Nichols. I live at 330 Dreamcatcher Circle, Morgantown. It's in Stewartstown, which is out up Point Marion Road. I have a statement. May I give
Yeah,
you
sure.
that? Okay.
Sure.
It's just a one-page item
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
We won't count this towards your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. The topic here is comments on Longview Power, past, present, and future. I was here back when we had the original hearings, back in the early part of the 2000s. And I'm with a group called the Mon Valley Clean Air Coalition, which is an outgrowth of the original Longview Power and its impacts on regional environment, including public health, air quality, and roads. We participated in the pilot hearings that were held in this building back in, as best I can recall, 2003. And the Longview representatives were there. And I specifically, I'm talking about myself, asked them if they would put in writing the fact that they had promised to use West Virginia coal, the fact that they had promised not to consume river water and heat up the river, and if they had promised to be a zero discharge facility. And they didn't want to put that in writing. And it wasn't very long after that that we found out that none of those were valid or true. They, instead of West Virginia coal, they decided to use Pennsylvania coal. Instead of not using river water, they started taking water out of the river and pumping it up, treating it, and using it. And then that water evaporates and becomes plumes over the environment. And finally, zero discharge was what they thought they could do, but they've actually got a pipe that runs up into Pennsylvania down into the ground to abandon mining so they can get rid of liquid waste material. And then that contaminates the underground water down there. At the present time, there's a 300 plus trucks over on Fort Martin Road because of the way they're transporting coal nowadays. It's coming from the Cumberland mine, going on a railroad over to the river, coming down through the Point Marion locks, and then these 300 or more trucks just for the coal are going up that steep grade. It's a road that's unstable. It's a road that is getting potholes. In fact, there's so much concern over there that the local citizens have been vocal, and Longview has had a meeting and given them a dinner so that they could try to get some public feeling of what was going on. In any event, Longview is now proposing a natural gas-fired plant in Fort Martin.
You have now
to
reached,
add solar panels.
you've now reached your 3 minutes.
I see.
If-
Can
if
I
you would just
summarize?
try to put a
Would you give a
conclusion.
summary?
Yeah, summary.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah, what I'm interested in, the reason for coming, is we think they may be asking for a new pilot agreement. And if so, we think the public ought to have a chance to participate in that because there's concern about whether the taxes that would be paid are adequate and whether the plant will address this elephant in the room, which is called global warming, the amount of carbon dioxide that they're emitting. Thanks for giving me this
Okay.
opportunity.
Thank you for coming.
To speak here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning.
Morning. I also have a written statement.
Sure.
for you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Jim Coatson. I'm at 414 Tyrone Avery Road, out near Cheat Lake. I'm here today on behalf of the West Virginia chapter of the Sierra Club, and we're also here to address the concerns over the proposed gas-fired power plant by Longview. The West Virginia chapter of Sierra Club supports efforts by the city of Morgantown to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, and we would like to see the county commission do the same thing. Unfortunately, this proposal would basically swamp everything that has been achieved to date and everything that either the city or the county is likely to be able to do in the near future. As such, we're recommending that the commission consider some very specific provisions if there is a new pilot agreement considered. Number one, that any new fossil fuel fired power plants include some type of carbon capture and sequestration. Second, that the economic valuation of any such facility include an estimate of the social cost of carbon. EPA's current estimate is somewhere between $30 and $50 per ton of greenhouse gas emissions. And third, that any new pilot agreement, and we certainly think there needs to be one, would be negotiated in an open and public process with input from the affected community. Those are people that are directly affected by this, and in the past there's been a tendency to negotiate that behind closed doors without giving the community a chance to respond. That leaves the people who negotiate that in the very untenable position of getting very defensive about a pilot agreement, and we saw this with a previous group of county commissioners. And rather than get into that kind of an argument, we think it'd be much better for the commission to have an open and public process so that all of those concerns can be aired up front. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there someone else who would like to speak?
I guess now's a good time, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm Dave Johnson from City of Westover. I brought the copy of the ordinance, the petitions, and a copy of the map for the West Ridge annexation. And I want to leave this with you guys. I think it's important to note that we are doing this in two phases. We're doing phase one now, and we're going to do the phase two. And the reason for that is they're not really certain what all they're going to put into phase two, which would be from the new exit toward the gateway. That area would be what we're calling phase two. We have a meeting on Monday. We'll have a final reading on the ordinance, and everything will be done as far as the city is concerned. And I'd like to leave this with you guys to look it over, and then if all possible, I'd like to be on the agenda for next week's meeting, so it can be finalized by you guys in order, for the record of the courthouse. So,
Thank you.
I only brought one.
Okay. Well, just leave it here. We'll be looking at it.
We won't be slighted.
Yes. Thank you. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak? Sure, come on down.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure whether this is the correct way to approach this, but I'm here to ask.
You might want to state your name, and so
Oh.
everyone knows who we are better.
No, I appreciate that. I'm sorry. I'm not used to being on this end.
That's
of the party.
exactly.
My name is Bill Kowecki. I'm mayor of Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm here to ask if it's possible to obtain the use of the courthouse square for the Gene Vance Memorial, similar to what you did last year. They're requesting the activity occur on May 18th, that's a Saturday, that's Armed Forces Day, and it would be a combination celebration of Gene Vance and Armed Forces. I'd ask your consideration of that, and if you'll tell me exactly how to approach this, I'll be happy to do any of the paperwork or requests that you need.
Okay.
That's it. So, any questions at all?
No, other than, there's a form that generally
Well, let me
just-
suspend the rules so that we, okay.
Yeah.
Is there
I'm
anyone
sorry.
else, we're going to talk to you in a second. Is there anyone else who wants to speak before we, okay, now, can I
Yes.
move to suspend the rules?
Yes.
Go ahead. Now, we'll
Oh,
explain.
very
Go
good.
ahead.
Generally, Mayor, it's very simple. It's usually is it on our website? Okay, you call our county administrator, and they usually just, you give her the dates,
Right.
and she brings it up at our next meeting, and we approve it.
Oh, very good.
Very simple
Assuming that there's
process.
no other.
Unless there's
other
no conflict.
Yeah, there's no other
That's,
conflict.
No, I appreciate that very much.
Mayor,
Thank you.
I will send the form to you.
Yeah.
If you'll send it to the city clerk, that'd be
City
great.
clerk, okay.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
for coming anyhow.
And since the rules are suspended, there are two requests for annexation. What I'm going to ask under new business is that we just accept them, and that's all we're doing. We're accepting the requests, and then that will give us time to review them for next week. So that will be the proper procedure, so everyone understands.
We're accepting the application.
And sending the applications. Okay. And that will be under new business number C. Okay. So with that being said, I close the comments from the public. Colleen Kuhn, grants, the Honorable.
I have requests for reimbursements. The first one is the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $1,464.24. The next one is JJDP, this is Voices 2, in the amount of $1,420.98. Another JJDP, this is DMC, it's $3,025.51. VOCA grant in the amount of $6,473.67. Day Report Center grant in the amount of $16,615.28. I have the Governor's Highway Safety Program, distracted driving in the amount of $110.25. I have Safe Communities in the amount of $2,694.05, and impaired driving in the amount of $5,303.72.
Move for approval?
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. I'll sign them in a little bit. Okay. Correspondence. Letter from Christian Help.
Yeah, we just have the one item. It's just a letter from Christian Help thanking the commission for their support and their funding that was received for fiscal year 18-19.
Okay. No other correspondence?
No, sir.
Unfinished business. Any unfinished business?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll move to new business to consider appointment to the Mason-Dixon Historical Park Advisory Board.
Yes, sir. An applicant, Lisa Vinton. We've advertised this for several months. We actually have an applicant, Lisa Vinton. She's from Blacksville, and she asks to be appointed to the board.
Move for approval?
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes. First reading regarding the readoption Monongalia County floodplain ordinance duly adopted November 9, 2009 floodplain regulations and reenacting Article 1765 of the floodplain regulations to provide for certain modifications to said regulations recommended by FEMA and the State of West Virginia of Homeland Security, the West Virginia Flood Management Program, establishing that a flood plan exists and requiring all contractors, persons, partnerships, businesses, and corporations to obtain a permit for the development and the construction, substantial improvement, or relocation of any building or structure. I ask that we put a motion on and then ask if Mr. Paul wants to speak to it.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Okay, properly moved second, ask to suspend the rules. Mr. Paul, did you want to come down and give the Cliff Notes version of why we have to do this?
Sure, absolutely. My name is Mike Paul. I'm the floodplain administrator and GIS coordinator for Monongalia County. The last time the ordinance was updated is because the maps, the FEMA designated firm maps, were updated in 2009. With having a ordinance in place and being adopted by FEMA that helps with our national flood insurance program, So if there is a declaration or emergency, we have an ordinance in place where we can get help, from FEMA if that is to happen. So we have to have an adopted ordinance by the county commission in place to enforce any kind of development that goes on in the 100-year floodplain. So long story short, the maps have been updated by FEMA. Some of the new floodplain boundaries have changed. Some of the elevation data has changed due to new technological advances in hydraulic and hydrologic studies. So the maps are being updated, so therefore we have to update our ordinance.
Is there a place where the people could see them?
Absolutely. The maps are in my office down in room 110 on the first floor here in the courthouse. And if anyone has any questions, my contact information is available. So I'd be happy to provide that.
Okay, and I hope that if you could get his contact, so if someone has a question, I'm looking at Ben, if you do the article, yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Can this be placed also on the webpage?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Please see. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll have actually a C and a D. C will be the Town of Granville Annexation Petition Minor Boundary Adjustment. Do we have a motion that we have received the application?
We have, I move that we acknowledge receipt and that we take the application and review it for completeness.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Then D would be, do I have a motion that we have received the application process for Westover?
I move that we acknowledge receipt and review the application for completeness.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we have any other new business? Annette?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we'll look at reports of elected officials. Any reports from elected officials? Seeing none, we're moving forward. This time, I think, Ed, you go first.
This evening, we do have, the Planning Commission is meeting. We have been meeting through this week for budget meetings, and it was indicated when we met with Mr. Wood that the subdivision regulations have been returned. We have not reviewed them yet, but they will be available soon to be able to be reviewed. Friday, the Historical Society meets, and on Monday, 4-H Camp Board Muffley will meet. Tuesday, we have a construction meeting of the new extension and 4-H building at Milan Park. And lastly, I'd like to wish all our high school boys basketball teams good luck at the state tournament. We have UHS, MHS, Trinity, and I believe also Fairmont Senior from Marion County. So let's have some success.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a busy couple of weeks with us being in budget time and a lot of those discussions, but since our last meeting, last Thursday I had a meeting with the developers of the Morgantown Industrial Park. I also had lunch with Mayor Kowecki, and in the afternoon I had a follow-up conference call with OpenGov as we continue to work on our site and future improvements. Friday, we had our special meeting to discuss grant requests, and then in the afternoon, I had a meeting with Deputy Mayor Jenny Celine regarding a possible boat park project in my neighborhood. This week, Monday, we had another special meeting to discuss budget request, and this Thursday, I have a Development Authority meeting. Friday, we have another more budget meetings, and then in the afternoon I have a conference call with OpenGov. And then following on to next week, on Monday I have my red team meeting, and Tuesday, as Commissioner Hawkins mentioned, we have our extension building meeting. And that's it for now. It's enough.
Okay. Mr. Coates and Mr. Nichols, we will look at your suggestions and take them under advisement. Appreciate you for coming and doing that. Second, I want to clear that the last 3 days, I collected over 65 roads that needed to be fixed, and even several of the people put longitude and latitude. I thought that was really interesting. I have submitted these to the governor. I've submitted these to the 5 local legislators, and I've submitted to Darby Clayton and District 4. So we have at least submitted all the documents. So I just want that cleared, and hopefully we'll see some action. Finally, I do want to do this. I had stated I was going to do this, and I want to put this on the record, that I am going to ask to have a discussion with the other county commissioners to call for a state of emergency in Monongalia County consider filing a lawsuit against the state for not fulfilling the state constitutional duties by purposely and knowingly allowing unsafe roads and jeopardizing the health and safety of the citizens of Mon County. I'm asked to have a discussion, but of course, I do have some good news that there is a meeting at 11:15, and the governor's going to make some announcements. So until we see what direction we're going, it will just keep everything open-ended, but it is something that the three of us are going to continue to watch. So with that, that's all I have.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
We be gone.